Hey everybody, it is your girl Shadonna Mo McFall, the Mo You Know, and I am here with a special edition of the Mo You Know Live. I didn't go live last night, my regular scheduled time, because I was so hype about the inauguration, and I just wanted to bask in that. But I have a special guest for you today, Miss Caroline. So, Caroline, many of you, if you're watching from Fayetteville, you know Caroline. You know Caroline from one of her many jobs here in Fayetteville. She's a military spouse, and she drinks wine with me, guys. She took me to the wine cafe.
I did. We had a
She took
blast.
me to the wine cafe, and she took me to Blue Moon, and I'm like, okay, this is the life. This is the kind of good girlfriend I need to say, hey, Mo, you want to go drink wine and talk with? Yes, I do. Let's go. So, Caroline, thank you so much for doing this with me on such short notice.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely. So let me just tell you guys a little bit about how this special broadcast came up. So this morning, Caroline and I did a special edition of Arraydio that Caroline puts together, produces, hosts, all of the things. And they are looking for guests. So you may want to get with Caroline after this if you want to be a guest and talk about all of the things and get your business to visibility. But I'm like, Caroline, okay, well, you know, I love Facebook Live. So can we do a live too? She's like, yeah, sure, why not? So I'm like, well, here we are.
Like we tried earlier, and I was like, I don't know I had to Google it, and I still couldn't figure it out. God. It's okay. It's okay.
It's all good though, because I tell people done is better than perfect. Well, we got to get out of this mindset of it has to be perfect. Life happens. We're going to have technical difficulties. All of the things can happen, but we just got to keep moving and keep making it happen. And hey, it's all good. We're here.
We are. Did you have a good rest of the day?
I did. I was ripping and running, had meetings after meetings after meetings, and I was, you know, cutting things. And I don't like to cut things short with me. I don't like to be real short with people, but I'm like, I don't have time for extra stuff that I used to have time for. I used to have time to shoot the breeze and kiki and shoo and do all of the things. Now my schedule is so boom, boom, boom. We're on like, okay, I got this to this. I got to go. This is your time that we allotted. But that's a good thing. You know, having that structure for me is like put me back in that military mindset. So before, when it was just like things were dragging and you had to wait to get an approval from this person and your spouse and your boss, and that was low-key depressing me and high-key depressing me. If we're being transparent, it was high-key depressing me. So now that I have things going and things are rocking and rolling, I'm good. I'm back in that I'm back being military mode. Even though I took the uniform off, my brain is still in military mode gear.
Yeah, it functions better with the structure.
And absolutely. And I know I put in my bio, not my bio, in the caption, you are a military spouse. So let's talk about that first and foremost, because I don't think a lot of people understand how much work it takes to keep the household together, to keep everything at ease and at peace when everything is moving at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Hey, we're going here. You got to pick up here. We're leaving. We got these orders. So tell me what your life as a military spouse has been like.
All right. Well, I will start with the fact that my husband actually joined the military. Well, he'd always wanted to, and he was 27 when he went to basic training, so he's in the Army. And we were a blended family. I had 2 kids when we got married, and he adopted both my children. And I had congestive heart failure, and we were best friends. And I was given 2 to 5 years to live, a couple years. So 1998, my son was born. That's when I was diagnosed. I was going through a divorce, and Justin, my husband now, we were best friends. He was going through a divorce, and it was kind of like, and he has a son. So it's Corinne, Austin, that's his biological son, and then David. So, and you know, all our kids are our kids.
Right.
But, I wanted someone to be able to raise my kids. And so, I mean, it's a love story now. And he says it was a love story then too, which is, I mean, looking back, yes, but I didn't expect to still be here.
Right.
He came to me and he said, hey, I've always wanted to join the military. And he was in construction then, and he does that on the side now. So just for those of you that know, he does really good work. And I have to.
Go ahead, plug them. Get this free advertising.
He does. And I said, well, you only get this life once. If that's what you want to do, I 100% support you. And so this is the summer before 9/11. So it was a peaceful military. Mm-hmm. And then 9/11 happened, and it was like, well, let's still do it. So it was really good. It's been great medical benefits.
Right.
For me and the kids. Oh, I was like, I don't know whose timer that is. Ready? So he joined the military, went to Fort Benning infantry, and we went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. That was our first duty station. And then we invaded Iraq. So he was in, I was at Fort Campbell for 10 years. He was stationed there, but he went to Iraq 3 times and Afghanistan once, all within like an 8-year period. But we made some great friends. We were at Fort Campbell long enough, people left and came back. And then when he became, I don't know, E5, so I can keep track of the numbers, not always the names of what
right.
He gets there. You transition. So if you're infantry, you got to kind of decide which path. So he's been a career counselor for a while now. Then we, Fort Lee for 5 years. We lived in Lynchburg. That was an interesting transition. The kids were in high school, college, different things happening. But when you've lived apart for so long, it's almost normal. So this is actually, since we've been here, we've been at Bragg for 3 years. This is the longest we have actually lived at the same place.
Oh, wow.
Since before he joined the military, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think that's right. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So I know that was an adjustment in itself. I won't touch it because I know he's probably watching or we're watching. So
no, he's in the other room. Well, yeah, and before we came, so high school stabilization was up. The youngest went off. We were in Lynchburg, Virginia. Stayed there. Moved him into the dorm. This all happened literally months before we moved here. We sold the house we'd lived in for 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. I quit the job I'd had for 4 years. The oldest had moved to Berlin with our grandchild the year before. But in that 4 months period, our 14-year-old golden retriever died. Yeah, sold the house, quit my job, put the kid in the dorm. So it was a transition for sure.
Absolutely. And that's what, military life is all about. It's always a transition. It's always an adjustment. It's always something going on. It's never the same thing. It's never the same day twice. You do not, a lot of times people think in the military it's Groundhog Day. You do the same thing because you have the schedule and all of that, and which we love the schedule.
Right.
We love to know when things are going to happen. But guess what? There are so many audibles being thrown. You think this is how your day is going to go, but that's not how it works. That's not how military life works. That's not how civilian life works. That's just not how life works. And I'm just going through that now. I'm having a resurge of, reevaluating the things in my life. And, you and I've talked offline about how crazy the days are going, how everything's all up in the air. But, the thing is just keeping the ball in the air.
Right.
Don't let the ball drop. So it's just like, okay, if I can just keep these balls in the air and nothing drops, we're good. Yeah. And you gave me a thing today, and we was talking about clients and all the clients that I'm working with. So guys, when y'all hear Caroline's interview on Arraydio, y'all will hear your shout out. But the thing that I remember the most, and I just forgot, I was like, okay, oh no, you gave me another tagline. You was like, if you're in it for the long haul, call Shadonna Moment Fall. And that's just it. Cause it's this microwave success, this, hey, I want this thing right now. The instant gratification, that's great, but that's not always realistic.
No. And that's not, that's so not realistic. That's so not realistic. I was thinking about when you were like, how do you adjust? We've been really, I think I could say we've been lucky because I know there are people that would prefer to have not moved. The fact that this is our third duty station, he just hit 19 years. But there's other people that have moved every 2 years and have loved it. They've literally traveled the world. And I'm sitting here like, we have been, like, but at the same time, the kids, it afforded us different things because we were stable. And I have gotten to know so many people because it is transitory. The military is transitory. And it's just been such a blessing. Some of the friends that we've made and continue to make, right? And I have to remind myself that he's been in as long as he has, because I forget my age a lot.
Conveniently.
That might have something to do with my age. But, in the end, the military has changed in 20 years and is still changing. And yet there are some things that haven't. But I am glad when I've talked to someone who's my daughter's age, who's a military spouse, and we are connecting on something that's just a human level. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's in the end, that's really, because yes, there's no way that you are going to wake up and not have something happen that day, just because that is life. Yeah, I have that saying for the podcast that I've recorded a couple of times, but haven't launched. That is going to come. That is going to happen. Courageously grateful. So people feel like courage is this big heroic thing, right? Like I've done something wonderful. Sometimes for people who are really struggling, and I've seen this being married to a man that I love who has been to war a few times, that sometimes courage is just getting out of bed. Yeah. But you can still find a way to be grateful. Yeah. If it's only because you got out of bed today. And that's hard for some people. So, yeah.
I know, and I don't make any qualms about, my struggle with the transition and how difficult it was for me when I first got out. And I tell people I went to counseling, did all of the things. I'm like, this isn't normal. Like I was saying earlier, I was used to boom, 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 boom. Let's go. And then everybody was like, yeah, we may call you back. We may answer the email. And everybody went radio silent. Like, I wasn't used to that. And I was not used to not having anything going on. Because when I got out, I was like on the weekends, I'm working. So my email would be the first thing they saw Monday morning. That's not how this works. Right. That's not how life works on the outside. So it took me a while to adjust to that. And I can say now that I'm a little bit better than I was 4 years ago when I first got out.
Yeah. Life is funny, right? Like when I hit my 40s, I was almost depressed that I hadn't had a career, but I was alive.
Right. And you have kids that are going to be great human beings, because that is for me, making sure, and I don't want to sound vain, but okay, the career is good, is great, all of the things. But my goal right now, and you've achieved that, so you winning. Your kids are great. Your kids are alive. They're healthy. They're doing the thing. And I think as a mom, that's our career. That people discount that as a career, but that is the hardest job ever.
Hardest job ever.
I've had a lot of jobs, and raising this 8-year-old.
Is this when I get to tell you you've never stopped parenting?
Right.
But honestly, I have to parent myself a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. It is the best job. And it's the greatest. And I am thankful for technology, because my daughter, we can FaceTime, through WhatsApp, and my grandson who's over there, and he has his other grandparents are over in Berlin, and it's adorable. He knows 2 languages. Yeah.
I was so funny. I was talking to Dr. Tracy Lashley earlier before I got on here with you. And I was like, I remember being in Germany. I think I told you this earlier too. We've been virtual. The Air Force has been virtual. When I was in Germany, I worked for USAFE 847, and that's mission support and logistics. And our general was the general that controlled all of that. So with the time difference, I remember having to work late, or my schedule being adjusted to work late to start the VTC, so he can talk to all the commanders in all of Europe and in DC. Mm-hmm. So for this adjustment, I'm like, okay, y'all just now doing VTCs and virtual, and we've been doing that. So this is nothing.
One of the organizations that I work for, that I'm the podcast producer for, is we call it AMC, but the Association of Military Spouse Entrepreneurs. And that's the same with them. They've been around. They celebrated their 1-year birthday anniversary in November. And that's how they do everything. Everything is virtual.
Right.
And and that's like Anne Marie, the same thing. She's very much with Array. She's like, how do we pivot? Okay, so our publications are online. She's like, video podcast. And they had they did the show at Fayetteville State, I feel like, for a while too, before COVID hit. So Anne Marie is a mover and a shaker.
Yeah.
I
remember I had her on my show when, how did I meet her? I met her probably at a chamber event, but before I even joined the chamber. But we went, and she's a military spouse. So I remember we went and had lunch, and she was on the show, and we just got to talking and doing all of the things. So she's phenomenal. So I just love her. And like I said, I was in Array magazine, so I just love it. Love it.
She's all about, that's why when we were coming up with, connecting our community through conversations, that's the whole point of the podcast. And the stuff that I've learned working with AMC, because I've been someone who's taken care of somebody else for so long that when it came to taking care of my own schedule, and I know what imposter syndrome is, but I legit am just used to taking care of everybody else. So it's almost like I have to treat myself like I'm somebody, which that sounded, when I started going, well, how can I do this? And I was like, no, that sounds like I need to be on something. I need help. So let's figure this out. And I'm still kind of working the system that works for me. And that's why I do like the organizations that I'm plugged in with right now, because like AMC has all these, again, everything is virtual, right? They were virtual before COVID, and all these downloads, master classes, all this stuff is a membership connection. And then Anne Marie she is my connection here and my encourager here. And it's like, let's do this. Caroline, you can do this. I promise you can do this. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If you say so.
And she's right. She's absolutely right. If you've seen it done, it can be done. If someone else can do it, you can do it. And if you really want to do it, you can do it. And that's the thing. You got to want it.
You have to want it.
You have to want it. There's no magic sauce, no secret sauce, no magic recipes. The number one thing about success is you got to want it. And and I hate, people that's trying to sell all of this stuff. The want has to be there. If the want isn't there, then nothing's going to happen.
Michael Jordan had to work hard. Let me just say that. Even Michael Jordan had to work hard. Still my favorite. He's the best.
Yeah. I know we talked about, and I know earlier we were talking about, you asked me something about confidence, and, I was like, hey, I am going to have a lot of teammates personally and professionally, but I'm going to be my own star player, to quote Cat Williams. I'm going to take the ball to the hole. I'm going to run into the end zone. I'm going to hit the home run. I'm going to do the puck. I'm going to do all the things to make sure that my life and the things are going, because like I said, teammates come and go. And like I said, we can depend on folks for whatever that's worth. It's
that's so true.
It like I said, you gotta believe in you. And when I say you, I'm just not talking to Caroline. I'm talking to everybody that's listening. The thing that with me, I believe in me. Even days when I'm having imposter syndrome, I'm like, okay, Mo. And I keep having to remind myself of all of the things that I did in the military, and all of the, receipts and all of the awards and all of the accolades. I'm like, Mo, you just didn't get that. That just didn't fall out of the sky. You had to work for it. And if you worked that hard for that, just imagine if you worked a little bit harder. And worked a little bit harder and met some more people and did some more things. Yeah.
100%. So in the imposter syndrome, when I first learned about that, I was like, I'm not, definitely there's times for sure. Right. And I think as women too, I feel like that's why Moda. So Mo's nickname, for those of you who didn't see the post earlier today, because I told her she's like a Yoda to me. I feel like We need our lightsabers out. And
Yeah.
Mo said, so Moda, and that's exactly right. So she's imparting wisdom on us. So I feel like the confidence is so natural for you. And we do talk about this in the podcast, that being around you, they say you become who you hang around. And that doesn't mean you become the person, but you pick it up. So if you hang around a bunch of negative people and people with negative attitudes or who are critical, because Stephen Covey says there's 3 C's that destroy relationships: criticism, comparing, and competition. And it's true. And then to me, then you have community, connection, and conversations. And that's how we avoid those things. And that's what you're all about.
Absolutely. Because I hate, even though I'm very competitive, I hate competition, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Okay, so can you explain that a little bit?
So it's just like, I want to win, but I don't want you to lose.
No, I get that. When I played sports growing up, it was the same way. Like, we're going to go out there, we're going to have a fair fight. And the best, in the end, it'll happen. And when people get dirty, though, that's when it's like, okay, so if you want to take it there, that's fine. But that is not the direction. We can have a good game. Yeah. So 100%. Like, I wasn't a sore loser and I always wanted to win. But you know what? If it was a good game, that's good. You won fair and square.
Absolutely. And I believe there's enough for everybody. It's like, if there's enough food, there's enough money, there's enough clients, there's enough pages in magazines, pages in newspaper, radio spots, all of the things that we want. We don't have to cut anybody's throat, stab anybody in the back to get it. And I know you and I share a similarity. We were both account execs. So we've been in that cutthroat world, and I don't like it. Like I said, I love the sales piece of it, but I don't like cutthroat personally or professionally. That's just not how I get down.
To me, it's supposed to be about sales. To me, should be about, you're lifting your client up. You're serving them so that their business can grow and succeed.
That's it. And if that means, and it means a lot, but for me, when I'm telling my clients, like, I'm going to give you the best answer. I'm going to give you your best options. If you choose to go with it, great. If you don't, great too, because at the end of the day, it's your decision. But I'm going to give you the best. I'm going to give you your best choices, your best options, work out the best prices for you, because I do want you to win. I do want everybody to win.
You work your tail off too, because it's who you are. So your clients, oh my gosh, I can imagine all the stuff you do for them.
Yeah. And, and the thing that I love about my clients is I do push them because I'm like, okay, y'all have the talent. I'm not coaching, or I don't have to tell y'all how to do the thing that y'all are great at. It's just like, I got to remind y'all, hey, I need y'all to talk to such and such, or did you talk to this person? Did you give me this? Did you send me that? So it's just a constant nudging, but we all need that.
Yes.
We all need a nudge here and there. And I'm like, I'm not really bossy, pushy, because I'm not aggressive. And that people may laugh, but I'm really not as aggressive as I probably should be or could be. If I was more aggressive, I probably would be making more money and doing more things, because I know those aggressive people get the sales and do all of the things, but that's just not my personality. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, and all the people we get to meet, right? All the people you get to meet. I mean, I met Georgiana Pinkney from Greater Life of Fayetteville. She's phenomenal. And her program that she has, oh my goodness, such a heart to serve. And same with you. Yeah, it's a job, but you have such a heart to serve and such a heart to elevate others regardless. I mean, we're friends.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing for me, just in our friendship.
And that's what it's all about. It's just uplifting people. Okay, if I see that you have a fire and a desire to do something, okay, I'm going to nudge you, push you. Hey, Caroline, you remember that thing you said you wanted to do? You remember how you said you wanted to do those voiceovers? Have you started that yet? So yeah, that's what I do.
I mean, no, but yes, yes, and that's 100% right. And that goes back to I like to watch other people and telling myself, hey, you got to take the time to schedule for these things because nobody else is going to do them for me.
No, they're not.
Right. And that's funny because I've raised my kids to know that nobody else is going to do it for you. If you want it done, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
I'm preaching to the choir here.
You do. And like I said, because people are going to take your time. They're going to be, Caroline, can you do this? Caroline, can you do that? Mom. Oh, don't even get me started on the moms. But it's just like, okay, this is what's for Mo. This is what Mo needs to do to get, to make Mo happy. And I'm not ashamed to say I am very selfish with my time now. Because I have to be, because as we grow and elevate and new things come along, I can't just be doing whatever with whomever anymore. I don't have time for that. I really don't. But it has been a pleasure just knowing you. Like I said, I feel, and I love friendships. I love girlfriends, and I love things that don't feel like work. Even though talking and interviewing and advertising and promoting is definitely work, but when you do it with people you know, like, and trust, it doesn't feel like work. So I could do this all day. So,
and you're good at it. You're good at it. Well, and I'm going to say too, one of the things with being a military spouse, brag. So I joined the Association of Brag Spouses because, again, I need to feel connected again with other spouses because everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And just because we're all in the military, we each have our own individual story and journey. And I love hearing those stories. Those are because everyone has their courageously grateful point. There's something it could be anything, like a parent passed away, or I don't know, they lost their dog. I mean, that's hard. Being in there when they put your dog to sleep is probably, I've never lost a child, a spouse, or a parent yet, but I lost my biological father when I was 17. But yeah, so everybody has their thing, the thing that kind of was their catalyst to, wonder what direction I'm going now. And maybe they haven't found that yet.
Yeah. But like you said earlier, just for me, just waking up, because what they say, 400,000 people died during the pandemic.
I think we're over that now. Yeah.
So just waking up nowadays is a blessing.
That is so true. And that's so powerful. It really is.
So I say anything that happens after I get out of bed is a win. Is a win. If I got out of bed, because like I said before, when I got out of the military, there was days I was in bed. I was so depressed.
Really?
I was so freaking depressed because I had nothing to do. I was retired and I was happy that I was retired, but I didn't have a job because I didn't plan to go to work. My plan wasn't to go to work. It was to run the nonprofit. But it was like I wasn't getting the yeses, wasn't getting the connections. I wasn't, things just didn't go as planned. And yeah, I was like sick. So, but you know what? When you're sick, you go to the doctor, right? If my head, I was like, hey, this ain't right. I got to fix this. Yeah. And I did. I went and went to therapy and counseling, and life's good now. So that's a plug for anybody in the mental health field, for anybody who feels like they're off. I tell people, if this works, everything else will work. I got both my hands, both my legs. And I remember before I transitioned, I used to always pray to God. I'm like, God, if you return me home in one piece, I'll do the rest. If you give me the peace of mind and send me home to one piece, I won't ask for anything else, which I feel because I'm still asking for everything every day. Like, God, I know I said I wasn't going to ask for anything else, but.
I mean, he created the whole universe, and I think it's probably okay, Mo. I think it's okay. I think he's got it. It's probably like nothing. Not that we're nothing, but the things we ask for, I feel like, are just there because he loves us. So they're nothing to him. Of course.
Yeah. And that's what I tell, and I'm not comparing myself to God or anything like
Right.
that, but that's what I tell, the people that are the clients, the people that are come in contact with. I'm like, y'all are freaking out over things that people have already done, that people know how to do. And there was, I think it was Allison Bird, or it was either Allison Bird or TJ Mercer that said both of them said it, but I don't remember who was the originator. They had a conversation and that's how it came out. But they was like, people are losing sleep over things that you can do in your sleep. So yeah, so I'm like, okay, Mo, you can talk to people in your sleep. You can talk to people. You can type and talk and do all of the things. Mm-hmm. But, some people struggle with that. Some people struggle with a lot of the things, like you pointed out, comes natural for me. So why wouldn't I help people, pull them along to get them to where they want to be? So.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine you not.
Yeah. So Carol, oh my God, I tell you 30 minutes go by so fast. But let everyone know how they can be a guest on Arraydio and how they can get in contact with you, because you're phenomenal and you need to be doing voiceovers for these nice people. And everybody needs it. And I am going to start dropping all of the things that we've talked about. But y'all, it's phenomenal. Caroline dropped so many things like, Mo, you should be doing this. I'm like, you know what? You're right. If you promise to help me, I promise to do it.
My husband has always said, you should just write a book about ideas. I'm like, that's in my list of things I need to do. So yes, I'm ready. I am ready to get to work for you. With you, not what I mean. You know what I mean,
right? Absolutely, and everybody, we are in this world. We know what it is. So, yeah. But the people that want to work with you, how can they work with you?
That is okay. So, I'm thinking Arraydio. Is it arraydio@gmail.com? So the Array website, it's arraync.com. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Okay. So Google Array Publishing and Marketing LLC.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? When I share this, I'll make sure I tag it in the comments. So they'll have it. They'll know.
Yeah. Because I'm sure she wouldn't mind if people email me directly, but I would prefer them to go through her. And we love having people on the show and talking to people and promoting other businesses and connecting people in the community. In fact, she has I forgot about this earlier when we were talking. She's having an event. We'll see. She's having an event next Thursday. So on the Array Facebook page, ARRAY. North Carolina. See, again, I'm like, why don't I have this memorized in my head? But we are having an event next Thursday. It's her birthday. So 29, I guess. I don't know what she's going to be at.
It's Aquarius season. So yeah, she's an Aquarius. I didn't know that. So now I am really excited.
Yeah, so I know there's tickets. I think there's food. I actually don't know 100% what's happening, but it's with Anne-Marie. So whatever it is, it's going to be fun. Right. And I know that I think I'm one of the people who will be welcoming people, but it's at Segra Stadium up in the thingy. See, look.
Where the Woodpeckers play. Absolutely. Our new $1 million state-of-the-art stadium that we got to do something with because we have it, right? Wear your mask and go have some fun. That's
everything Mo just said. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wear your mask. Go have fun. Go meet people. Go network. Go meet Caroline. Go meet Anne-Marie. Get all of the things. Get the visibility for your business. Those connections. Make those human connections because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
100%. We have to come together as a community. That's what we have to do. I feel like 2020 was a big test of a lot of that. There's a lot of stuff that's still being dealt with, but in the end, Fayetteville is one of the things that I think has held this city together is the ability of the people in the community to push forward, to persevere, to be resilient, and to be strong. And the only way to do that is when you link up with someone else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Caroline, I really adore you from the bottom of my heart. Until the next time where we're drinking Moscato. Yes. we're drinking, next time we get down and drinking Moscato. I cannot wait. So I just want you to know that I absolutely love and adore you, and I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate everything that you've done to help me here in Fayetteville. I just appreciate you. And that's the one thing people really got to let their people know. The people that have done things for them, just let them know how much you appreciate them. That simple, we talked about this earlier, that simple thank you will go so far if you mean it. And I definitely mean it from the bottom. I don't even say things that I don't mean.
I believe that too. That's right. Don't say it if it's wrong. What were you saying? Yeah, don't. If it's wrong, you're not gonna say it.
Right. Like Betty Wright said, I wouldn't waste my time telling you nothing wrong. So if it's wrong, I'm not even gonna say it.
Right.
But okay, well, thank you so much. And I look forward to speaking with you later and working with you and making all of our dreams I'm gonna say manifesting all of our dreams.
Yes. And ditto. I feel the same way about you. Like, I feel like I'm just getting this warm computer hug right now.
Yes. Okay, well, like I said, I got to get ready for another meeting and do all of the things and the life that I asked for. So I'm not complaining.
Thank you. Mwah.
All righty, guys. I will see you next week for the Mo You Know Live. Y'all have a great one.